What's going on, guys? This is Miasin and welcome to my Tier 1 TEARLAMENTS branded BYSSTED deck profile. This deck is incredibly good. You could actually bring this to like YCS Minneapolis and expect to potentially top or even win the YCS because it just has so many good matchups. It's such a powerful high ceiling deck. Nobody really expects this. Everybody's like expecting the, handshot version or the Lunalight version with the danger monsters or whatever else people are playing, but this one is actually very, very good. And if you know what you're doing, you can actually make gigantic boards going first and break boards going second. So before this video starts, make sure you like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch and Instagram. If this video can get to 1,000 likes, I will be making a live stream on this deck. You definitely don't want to miss that, so smash the like button right now and also the subscribe button, and now let's get right into it. Alright, so for the BYSSTED monsters, I'm actually playing something relatively minimal for a deck that should be playing as many BYSSTED monsters as possible, but I'm on triple Lubalion. This card is kind of like a little too good, so you can send it from the hand in order to search any BYSSTED monster from your deck to your hand, and also in the graveyard, it's kind of like an Inferno, not really like a monster that triggers its effect, so you can be under Dweller and still revive it back from the grave. It allows you to send any level 6 or higher dark monster you control to the grave in order to revive itself back, and on the field, you can activate once per turn any branded continuous spell or trap card from your deck directly on the field. So you can activate the trap card right away and use its effect right away, which means that the deck has answers to Floodgates and even Mystic Mine, because yes, this is a trap card that can pop any card. So yeah, this deck does not lose too hard to the most annoying card in the world, and that is the reason why I want to say that this deck is very well equipped to beat pretty much everyone. And for the other BYSSTED monsters, obviously triple Magnamut, I think we've gotten to a point where I don't really have to explain why this card is so good. It's like a Scarm that just does everything you want. And then the one Druid Worm, very good with the Beast. It just synergizes well with it. And the Saronir, of course, this card is so ridiculously good that I'm actually considering upping the amounts, maybe 2 or 3 copies, because being able to foolish your branded spells and traps from your deck to the grave really matters, especially when you can send Retribution in order to banish it to recycle back any branded spell or traps from the grave to the hand, including branded fusion if you happen to mill it. So that's a really nice combo. And also drawing Albion with a way to get Saronir's graveyard effect means that you can basically search any branded spell or trap card in the game, because Albion sends the Retribution or the branded fusion, and then Saronir sends the other, so that you have Retribution and branded fusion in the grave. So yeah, that's it for these cards. And now, of course, the Albion, the one card that you can search off of High Spirits that is really good. You could technically play the red Cartesia. The only issue with that card is that, yeah, sure, you don't really fully capitalize off of it because it's a tuner monster, but you can't really use it to make Baron. So it kind of just stays there and does nothing. And that's a little problem that I had. And you also can't make Guardian Chimera with the red Cartesia, because Guardian Chimera only triggers its effect when it's summoned with a spell card. So that really sucks. Anyways, the Despia cards, 1 Ad Libitum, 1 Aluber, 1 Tragedy. These cards are bricks if you play a lot, and Ad Libitum is always bad to draw unless you already have the combo. Aluber can conflict with Reinohard because both are normal summons, but Tragedy is not too bad, especially if you have Shaylin, because you can go Shaylin effect, send the Tragedy, surge the Aluber, and kind of play from there. And yeah, speaking of the TEARLAMENTS monsters, I think they're all very standard, so triple of every single one of them. So yeah, Shaylin, Reinohard, Hophinus, and Meru, and 1 Fallen of Albaz, of course. It's not really a card that you're actually trying to draw, but if you do draw it, it's not the end of the world. It's a Dark Dragon that you can use in order to fuse with the Mud Dragon of the Swamp, put it back on the bottom of the deck, so that your branded fusion will not really fuse from the hand. Although I will say that Mud Dragon in this deck is way worse than Mud Dragon in like the Danger build, because you're not really trying to make Curious or like rank 4s or something. So this card basically just doesn't really offer any additional value, and I couldn't really find a way to incorporate Super Poly in this deck while maintaining a low deck count. This deck is very, very tight, so it's really hard to incorporate, like I said, all these engines, BYSSTED, Despia, as well as TEARLAMENTS, and only playing like 40 cards, and that's the reason why this is a 43 card list. Anyways, for the spells, I want to say this deck probably plays the best spells out of every version of TEARLAMENTS. So Instant Fusion, Juice card, Triple Branded Fusion, Juice card, very powerful. 4 field spells, obviously this is something that every deck can play, and then Triple High Spirits, this card. If the High Spirits is not in your TEARLAMENTS build, I don't know what you're doing, but my man, you should reconsider. This card is, like I said, too good. I never complain when I draw this card, unless I'm drawing like 3 copies of. But anyways, this card is amazing. And then only 1 branded opening and 1 branded in red. A branded opening is not a card that I'm desperately trying to see. And, drawing opening with your Aluber is actually very bait. So it's like, when you see it, it's fine. You can also access it relatively easily if you mill, you know, it with the Retribution. So I don't know, it's a cool option, but you don't really want to play like 3 of this because, again, you're not really playing Despia. It's only like an engine. And Branded in Red is the same logic, I guess. You really don't want to draw Branded in Red, though. Like, it's worse than drawing Opening. Unless, again, you have Branded Fusion hard drawn, so that you can start playing around interruptions. Your Lubellion gets Veilered, no problem. Chain Branded in Red, summon Guardian Chimera. My Lubellion still resolves. I banish, I destroy your whole board. I summon Mirror Jade, and I probably kill you that turn. So yeah, 1 rebranded. This is a very good card with the Saronir combo, so that you can send it and then end phase, recycle it back with a Branded Beast. And you can also draw 1 card when you go, you know, Mirror Jade, send the Albion, banish with your own, like a Luber, for example. Draw 1, and then get your Branded in Red set on the end phase with the Albion effect. And yeah, again, the field spells, Branded Beast, the Optimistic Mind, and it also triggers the Druid Worm, so it's a very nice synergy. Double Salic, you can also play Crime with Scream, but that would be more bricks, so I don't know if I really recommend it. And finally, Retribution, which is the main reason why this deck works so well. Now, for the extra deck, I'm on 1 Guardian Chimera, 1 Kaleido Heart, 1 Mirror Jade, 1 Lulu Karos, 1 Dragostapelia, 1 Lubellion, 1 Alba Lenatis. So this card, if I recall correctly, can actually search Instant Fusion on the end phase. So you're trying to send Albion on your own turn so that you can set Branded in Red, and on your opponent's turn, it's actually better to send Alba Lenatis so that by the time it's your turn, you get an Instant Fusion in your hand and you're already free to go. I mean, you're ready to go. You already have your follow-up and you can't really lose the grind game. So this deck, you can't really grind with it at all because, like I said, you're always searching a bunch of cards and you're also drawing cards on your opponent's turn. You're drawing 1 card on your own turn with rebranded, 1 card on your opponent's turn with it, and you're drawing 2 cards with Guardian Chimera. You recycling back a bunch of cards on the end phase with the Branded Beast, the High Spirits going back into your hand. Your Magnamut searching, it's just too much, man. You really can't keep up with this deck. If you want to beat this deck, you have to beat it ASAP. But anyways, 1 Garura, which I don't think is going to come up too often, but I guess sometimes you can make Beatrice with it, so it's a nice option when you're playing Bisted monsters. Obviously, the Albion. The 1 Kid Kalos, you only need to play 1 because even if it gets like DD Crowed, you can still recycle it back into the extra deck with the effective Lubellion. So 1 is all you need in this specific build. Mudragon, like I said, not really useful. Beatrice, Time Thiever Doer, Dweller, and Dark. Just to have these options when I don't have Branded Fusion, but the majority of the time, you can find a way to get to Branded Fusion. So yeah, that's it for the extra deck. And now for the ideas, maybe Fenrir or another Druid Worm or another Saronir. Masquerade maybe if you can fit it. Unicorn, Splight Elf with Splight Sprint. Foolish Burial and Shadowll Beast maybe. Call by the Grave, but I don't really like it in a format where everybody's playing Imperm and the Bisted monsters. There is nothing to hit with Call by the Grave anymore. Super Poly, Imperm, Deck Dev, and the Eradicator Virus because all the Bisted monsters are targets for these cards. And also Full Force Virus, sorry. Dinomiscus, and finally Crime. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. I really hope you guys were able to enjoy. This deck is one of the most fun and powerful decks I've built in a while. So if you guys appreciate it, or if you guys want to test it out, or if you guys have any feedback, let me know please in the comment section below. We would all love to learn from your experience. And yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.